Chapter 11. After their escape from Glister's palace, the adventurers ran and ran and ran. Spurred on by panic and fear, they raced out of the glass city and into the country beyond. After 3 or 4 miles of their headlong helter-skelter flight, steam began to spurt from the sides of Grisby's boots. Rebecca was afraid they might burst into flames at any moment. Without a pause, Captain K and Kovac took up positions on either side of Grisby. They each cupped a hand under his elbows and lifted him so that his feet no longer touched the ground. His legs continued as though they were running, but the puffs of steam from his boots began to subside. They ran on until the road they were following became a rough, overgrown track, winding its way through clumps of thorny bushes and huge boulders. Rebecca glanced quickly over her shoulder, and there was no sign of anyone pursuing them. She called to the others, "It's all right. We can stop now." They all sank to the ground, gasping and wheezing. Rebecca was first to recover. She gave a grin and took the camera strap from around her neck. "Well," she said, "I managed it. I took some photos of the map." She handed the camera to Kovac. "Can you develop the pictures?" she asked. Kovac looked distinctly shifty, and Captain K looked away and stared vaguely into space, whistling tunelessly. "Well, can you develop the film, or do we have to take it to the chemist's?" demanded Rebecca. "Tell her," said Captain K. Kovac cleared his throat. His voice was a whisper. "What did you say?" asked Rebecca, straining to hear. "A little oversight," Kovac said. "Could have happened to anyone." Captain K interjected. "What he's trying to tell you is that he forgot to put the film in the camera." The news hit Rebecca like a bucket of icy water. All that trouble, all that danger for nothing. She was both angry and sad at the same time. "Well, that's that," she thought. "We'll never get another chance to see the map. We'll never find the ghost tree now." Throughout all this, Grisby stayed silent. Finally, he said, "I've got something for you." He dug deep into the pocket of his green fur coat and handed Rebecca a piece of folded paper. She opened it quickly and gave a gasp of pleasure. It was the map. "How did you get it?" Rebecca demanded excitedly. "I saw it lying amongst all the broken glass in Glister's palace," he said. "I thought it might come in handy." Captain K and Kovac were just as excited as Rebecca. They took it in turns to shake hands with Grisby and pat him on the back, and though Grisby kept muttering, "It was nothing," he was obviously highly flattered. When they could find no more words of praise, they spread the map out on the ground and stared at it. Disappointment began to drift over them like thickening sea fog. It wasn't like a real map at all, just some verses and little drawings. They all looked at one another. "I don't understand it," said Rebecca. "Neither do we," said the other 3 in one voice. "Then we're no better off than when we started," Rebecca said dismally. At Glister Palace, Lurk was gathering the equipment for the expedition. Cringer was clearing up the mess in the dining room under the angry, watchful eyes of Mr. Glister. Suddenly, as he swept the broken glass into a dustpan, he realized that the map was missing. He mentioned it to Mr. Glister. Mr. Glister's body went rigid with horror. The colour drained from his face, and the precious stones on his suit seemed to lose their lustre. He began to tremble. His teeth chattered. "The must taken it," he garbled. "If they ever decipher its secrets, I'm ruined." He took a tiny jewelled box from his pocket, and from it selected 2 pills. He gulped them down. His colour began to return, and his terror turned slowly into rage. He snatched up a sweeping brush and swiped Cringer over the head with it. "Ouch!" "Thank you, sir," winced Cringer. "Ready or not, we're going," screamed Mr. Glister. "The hunt for Rebecca starts now."